what we're talking about today is Pinterest. So Pinterest is another social media platform. It is Phyllis's favorite social media platform.
There you go.
And Phyllis has been at a lot of my Pinterest classes over the years. As I'm talking, if you guys happen to notice that you have, actually, it's probably just a good idea to mute yourself automatically, even if you don't know if there's background noise. That way that there is no confusion. And if you do need to say something, you don't have to raise your hand. You can just ask. While I'm sharing my screen, I won't be able to see you guys' faces. So like if you're like doing this to me, I won't see that. So, however, if you click the raise hand button in your Zoom, then I am able to see that because it gives me a little notification. So just a couple of quick things so that you guys know that. Now, with Pinterest, let's first get a poll in the room. How many people in this room currently know what Pinterest is? You've at least heard of it. Raise your hand. Okay, good, good. Most people. Okay. And then if you are using Pinterest as a user, which means you are looking at things, you're maybe pinning things, you're finding things on there, raise your hand if you're doing that. Okay, keep your hand up. Now I want you to keep your hand up. I want you guys to see all the hands that are up. What do you guys notice about all the hands that are up? There's 4 hands.
All women?
Left hands.
Yeah, they're all women. So out of all the people in this group, and the people who are currently using Pinterest, all women. Now, that's not a surprise because Pinterest demographic is about 80 to 90% women. Okay, now a lot of those women are also mothers, stay-at-home moms, work-at-home moms, teachers, volunteers, church leaders. Like those are some of the titles that many of the women using Pinterest hold. So knowing that, if you think about your target demographic, put that into consideration. Is a woman the type of person who I want to market my service to or my product? And if so, you should definitely be on Pinterest, right? Because women tend to get stuck on Pinterest, right? Those of you who raise your hand, you ever find yourself there, you went there for one thing and then you're there for like 6 hours and you're like, whoa, where'd the time go? It's dark outside. It's worse than Facebook, isn't it?
It depends on the woman, because my nephew is a priest at St. Matthias in Crown Point, and I see him on Pinterest more than I see any of my girlfriends. He's always on there saving recipes.
Yeah, he's part of the 10% then, right?
Yes.
But so it is still primarily women. Now, women are the primary users of this, but that doesn't mean that if you're a man that you post to it. Okay, so if your business promotes to women, and as I shared with you guys when we talked about the social media, the differences between the social media differences, that even if your primary target isn't women, at some level you do need to talk to women because they are generally the decision makers in most households, right? If there's a family, the women, even if the woman's not the one making the money, she's usually the one determining how it's spent, right? So in fact, Isaac and I, we're still going through our SYMBIS for marriage class. So like before you get married in the church, you go through this program. It's SYMBIS stands for Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts. And it's like premarital counseling. Well, because we got married spur of the moment, we are doing SYMBIS after our marriage. And so we're doing the premarital stuff after the marriage. And our homework assignment that we just did yesterday was seeing if we agree on the roles of the house and the family. And so it was so funny because on the part where it says our finances are, and then you're supposed to fill in the blank, and Isaac put agreed by us both, but mostly ran by Barbara. And I put Isaac makes the money, I decide where it goes. And so it's so funny because like really that is a common thing for families especially. All right, so making sure that you're on Pinterest is very important. The good thing, let's see, what Debbie just said something. I canceled Pinterest because it was time sucker for me, but this will be good because I've been thinking of getting into it again. Okay, so here's the good news. Pinterest is not like the other platforms where you have to post a lot to get noticed, right? Like if you don't post on Facebook for a month, people are probably going to forget you exist, and the algorithm will probably not show you in very many feeds when you do post again, right? But on Pinterest, it is very similar to YouTube, where people are going on there looking for something specific. They usually go on there and search something, or they get there from a search that they did on Google. So they're not necessarily logging into Pinterest and seeing what their friends posted, right? It's a very different type of platform, which means you don't have to post regularly. You could literally make 30 posts and put them all up there on one day, and they could be found throughout the days and the weeks, and it doesn't annoy your friends that you've posted them all on one day like that, like it would if on Facebook, if you posted 30 things in a row, your friends would be like, oh my goodness, so that's enough, because you get notified every single time, right? And on Pinterest, you get notified a lot too, but it's but no, you don't really use your notifications as much in Pinterest as you do the other platforms, because a lot of the people following you on Pinterest are complete strangers. And so it's better to utilize it in a different strategy rather than the kind of strategies we use on the other platforms. So being able to give valuable information, and then in that information, having a call to action, so that you don't necessarily have to nurture those friendships and relationships on Pinterest like you do on Facebook. And that's very similar on YouTube. Most of the time, you don't even know who's subscribed to your channel on YouTube. You get to know some of the people, but most people don't make that public. So all these people, they're connecting with you by what you're giving them and the call to action that you give them at the end of your video, right? So you don't have to build relationships with them like you do on the other platforms. Same thing with Pinterest. It's not a relationship building platform. It is a value giving and receiving type of platform. All right. So with that said, I wanted to talk about Pinterest for the first 10 minutes, just in case anyone tried to join the room. I don't think too many more people will try to join after the 10-minute mark. So now that we have that, I am going to share my screen and jump into Pinterest. Now, if you already have a Pinterest account, you can just go to Pinterest. If you don't have a Pinterest account, I want you to go to business.pinterest.com when you go to sign up, because it will automatically give you a business account. Now, if you don't have a business account yet, you just have a personal one, you also can go to business.pinterest.com, log into your regular account, and then it will ask you, would you like to transform your page into a business page? The answer on all social medias for that is yes, because even if you're doing this for your personal self, it tracks analytics if it's a business page. It lets you know how many viewers you're getting and all kinds of different analytics. So anytime that you have the option to be a business profile on any network, you should choose yes, specifically for the analytics. Also, if your business ever decides to do advertisements, it has to be a business page. You can't do an advertisement on a page that's not a business page. Okay, so now that we're in here, I'm actually going to go to just Pinterest now, because I already am a business page, so I don't need to go to the business, that one. So when I log in, when I first open up my Pinterest, it's going to bring me to my home feed. Oh, did it log me out? There it goes. Okay. All right, so it brings me to my home feed. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. All right. Perfect. So it brings me to my home feed. See how this is my business hub here? This is when you're in a business, you're able to see, or when it's set up as a business, you're able to see these kind of things, right? 67 viewers, monthly viewers, right? 314 followers. You can see your impressions over here. And if you are spending money on ads, you can see the money there. You can see the tools and resources that are available to you as a business. But for right now, we're going to go to, if I come up to the very top, actually, let me start with home, because that will take us to the news, to our home feed. Let me bring you guys down here. Okay. All right. So when you are at your home page, like your news feed, this is where all the things that you might be interested are at. This does not mean these are people you're following. Okay. So for instance, when you log into your other platforms, you see things that are posted by people that you are currently following. When you log in on Pinterest, you see things based on your interest, things that you've been looking at anywhere online. It does not have to necessarily be just on Pinterest. If you looked at something on Facebook or just Googled something, Pinterest realizes that you're interested in those things. And so this is the kind of stuff that pops up, right? It shows you things that it thinks you might be interested on. I'm sorry, there's feedback coming from somebody.
Please mute your mics. Everybody, please mute your microphone.
I went through, I think everybody might be muted now. Thank you guys. All right, perfect. I wasn't sure where that was coming from. But so this, you guys, is based on things, again, that you are interested in. The system knows you're interested in this because you're viewing this stuff other places, right? So how to get up early, right? Like I was researching stuff on the 5 a.m. Club, which is a book by Robin Sharma, and look what pops up in my stuff, how to get up early, right? And then 5 websites that pay you just to read books. How cool is that? I actually might check those out. I love reading books. And so you go through, and all of the stuff that it shows you is stuff that you should be interested in. Now, let's say that you decide to click on something. So let's take this one, Acts Bible Study Method, right? That's interesting because Acts is a book of the Bible, but it's also using that as an acronym for Ask, Chapter, Think, Scripture. That's pretty interesting to me. So let's say that I like this. You know, it looks like, oh, and look at how cool it is. It gave me a suggestion. This is a new feature. This wasn't up recently, but it gives me a suggestion of this is where this would fit on my current boards. And I'll show you what boards are in just a moment when we jump into our profile. So it's telling me that this would fit on my faith board. And so I can click save. And what that will do is it will tell all my followers that I saved this to my faith board. And people can check it out if they want. It doesn't have to be something I created to put on my board, which is another cool thing about Pinterest. You could use other people's content to make you look really awesome. All right, so next thing we can do is if I click on the picture first, so let's take the same picture, I'm going to click on it one time and it will enlarge the image for me so that I can see it better, and it will also give me information about it. So this website up top is where this will go to. So if I click on this image again, which I will in a moment, it will take me to this website, likeabublingbrook.com. You notice there's a title here. Oops. I went ahead and clicked on it. I was trying to highlight it for you guys. Hold on a sec. All right, let me go back there. Oh, hold on. Oh, I stopped my share. This button is, where my tab is right underneath the stop share button. All right, so you see there's a title, there's a description. It shows right here who posted this and which board they posted it on, which is Cheap Meals, how many followers they have, and then it gives me an option to follow them. It also shows if there are comments here, which it doesn't appear to be any right now, but I can leave a comment here if I want to. Now, why would I want to leave a comment? Because people will see my name here or my profile when they download this. So even if my comment is, this is great, thank you, right? And then I hit done. Now if someone comes on here, they not only see the person who posted it, but they also see me, even if I'm not connected with them. Okay, so super simple comments like that. If you scroll down, this person is someone who I'm connected with, so it shows me that this person saved it to Bible Verses. And that's their, Bible Verses is their a board that is similar to my board of faith. All right, so as you've seen, if I click on the image again, it takes me then to their website that talks more about this. This is the perfect thing to do on Pinterest, you guys. Post a picture. Everything has to start with a picture on Pinterest. Post your picture, put a little bit of information, link to your website, and you could use hashtags here too. So where this person's description is, there could be hashtags in this description. All right, so now let's move on to the profile. If I click up here on the top right where it says Fuse Your Biz, that's my profile name because that's my business branding, right? And I can either go to my business hub or I could go to my profile. I'm going to choose my profile right now because I want to walk you guys through the profile. All right, so you have my logo here, or the logo is, if you're doing this for business, your logo should be there in the profile image. If you're using this as a person, just like if I were just doing this as Barbara Carr, my headshot could be there. It does not have to be anything professional. You could really have anything that you want there, but if you're trying to build your brand, those would be the two things I recommend. Up here, the cover image, if you don't choose a specific image, it will just mix and match some of the things you've already pinned to kind of give people an idea of stuff that you've pinned. Now to edit this stuff, obviously you could just click the edit info right here. And there's very little stuff to edit. You have your name, your picture, your website, and then your words, right? Your description. And again, you get like about one sentence to describe what you do. You guys may have noticed across the days that we've been doing this, all of my descriptions match each other, right? All of the coloring match each other. The brand colors are all over everything I do. And you want to keep consistent as you can across every platform. All right, so as I scroll down, then I can see my different boards and stuff. So these are things that I've posted over the years. These are some featured ones. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to all boards, which is right here on the right-hand side. See all boards. Thank you, sweetie. Okay. All right. Thank you. As you guys know, the kids are e-learning, so we might every once in a while get a little pop-in by one of them. All right, so now I've gone to my boards. You'll notice up at the top here that now it shows pinterest.com/FuseYourBiz, which is my profile, /boards, which is the page I'm on. If I scroll down, it shows you the different boards. Okay, so this one, somebody invited me to this board. It's not a board that I want to belong to, it doesn't look like. So I can accept or decline. I'm thinking I'm going to decline because I don't necessarily want a board saying we are hiring. So I'll actually wait and look at it in a moment. But my boards are Fuse Business Tips, and I have email marketing. So in Fuse Business Tips, all of the posts in here, thank you, Haley. All of the posts in here are posts that I created. All of these I created, and there aren't very many in there, but as you can see, these are things that were created by me. They're not other people's content. If I click on one of these, this one is 9 books that changed our lives. We did this last year on Book Lovers Day, my business partner Marcelino and I. And this is a video. So if you click on this video, well, before I click on it, I want to show you down here. We put text. Marcelino and Barbara talk about 9 books that changed their lives. Which books have changed your lives? So if you were to come on here, an easy way for you to get in front of other people is to put a comment on here. Just write a book name, right? Easy way to get in front of other people. But if someone were to click on this link, it takes them to the YouTube video for that particular video.
And I'm Barbara.
Right? And so if you haven't watched that video yet, it's a fun video. I encourage you to go watch it. But in the meantime, I'm going to go back to Pinterest as soon as I can. Again, my tab is right under the stop share button, so I have to be careful with how I do it. Now, if this is my post, but let's pretend like it were you guys viewing my post. A couple of things you could do on here. Well, you wouldn't be able to edit because it's not your post. Actually, I'll show you that on one that's not my post so that you see how it actually works. So let me go back to my boards. Now I can go, I want to go back to my boards. So when I'm at my boards again, let's see, scroll. So then the email marketing one, let's take this for instance. These are not things that I created. Email marketing is something I teach on. Remember, you guys learned about it on day like 5 or 6 or something like that. I teach on email marketing and our company does email marketing, but we didn't create any of the posts that are inside this email marketing board. But what it does for us is that we're giving information to our viewers and our followers that they could use even if they don't hire us. They're still getting this content. And so while, yes, if somebody clicks on this, they're going to go to somebody else's website, even though this is on my page. But the good news is, if I keep putting out good content for people, they'll remember that, oh, I'm going to follow Barbara's email marketing board because like she's always putting good email marketing tips out there, right? Or if you were specifically looking for email marketing, my board is likely to come up if I have enough stuff that relates to what you're doing, right? And so let's say if you type in email marketing, right? That's something that you're searching for. You'll get all kinds of pins that come up. See up here at the top where it says all pins? All these different things will come up, right? But if I go here and I could choose boards instead of pins, which some people may do, right? It will show people who have a board that is named email marketing or something similar to email marketing and how many pins they have. So you could see all these different boards that you might want to follow. Pretty cool, right? This is a great way to get information too, you guys. If you're like trying to build something or learn something, Pinterest is an awesome way to learn.
So Barbara, I have a question. So you created the board. Like, how do you create the content? Is that what you were showing us now? Is in the board, then that's where you put something in there, and then for other people, it becomes a pin from your, right?
Right. So other people can also have boards or pins. So let me explain the difference. Thank you for that question, Marie. So a board, think of it like a cork board. Remember those cork boards where you'd like put a tack in there with like a Post-it note on it or something? So the board, think of it as a cork board, and the pins are like Post-it notes that you're tacking up there, or pictures that you're tacking up on the cork board. Okay, so anybody can create a board or a pin, and if they just repin something off of yours, then that becomes a pin for them. It doesn't have to be, they don't have to put it in one of their boards. They could just repin it. Okay, so for instance, if you're on your boards and you want to create a board, you just click create board, which is the first option, and you can name it anything you want. Now, keep in mind that people can see the names of your boards and the stuff that's in it unless you click on this, which is keep board secret, which means that you can see everything that's in it, but nobody else can. And you might say, well, why would I want to do that? Well, it depends. For instance, when I was getting married, I wanted to be able to look at wedding stuff and save wedding stuff without everybody being able to see all the ideas I was planning for my wedding, right? So I kept that board a secret so that all my stuff was a surprise when they got to the wedding. Make sense? All right, Dwight, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
I just found my old Pinterest account that I haven't been on for probably a year or two. And you said that to opt to start a business page, will that be separate from my personal page? Because I got a ton of stuff that it's just like, I mean, kids building castles and, there's some woodworking stuff in there for kids too that I would like to have on my page, but most of it's just like family stuff and things like that I wouldn't want to be all over my business page, so to speak.
So do you want it to be on Pinterest at all? Or is that something you want just you to see?
Well, I'm looking at this stuff and it's all like, a lot of it's woodworking ideas that I would love to do that I wouldn't mind being on a business page. But there's also like, pictures of art and, just stuff that I'm interested in that really has no relevance to my professional presence that it's just like cardboard Hot Wheels tracks, things like that, that will that end up being on my professional page?
Yeah, so if you turn that current page into your professional page, then yes, it will. Now, it's not like you can't have anything on there that's like I have health and faith and fitness on mine, and like my business doesn't do anything with fitness, right? Like, but it's just stuff that I'm interested in. Now,
is that a good idea though? Because like my Pinterest currently is my personal cookbook. instead of clipping recipes out of the paper like we used to do. And I mean, if somebody were to explore that, I'd end up on Food Network instead of HGTV, which I don't want it.
But the thing is, you guys, what you do in your business doesn't define who you are as a whole person, right? So it is okay to put other parts of your personality on Pinterest. Even if it is a business page, it's okay to put other things out there as long as you're not putting anything out there that will make you like discredited.
So unlike Facebook, you shouldn't have two separate pages.
You can have two separate pages, but that means twice the work.
Yeah, but then you can always make things private if you don't want them to be seen by everybody.
Yeah, so you can go through and pick the private boards you want to have.
Okay.
Dwight, did that answer your question too?
Yeah, because I would prefer to have two pages, honestly, just because this one is so cluttered. In my computer, I've got thousands and thousands of pictures, you know, that I still need to go through. I bought this computer just to go through my pictures before I even had an idea of starting a business. I just wanted to organize all of my, I mean, this bag here is full of different flash drives that have pictures that because I don't have a backup hard drive. And I have a whole box next to me full of CDs, full of pictures from when my kids were born. And, you know, I'm never going to go through this, but I like having it because there's a lot of cool stuff in here that I can get ideas from for building furniture. But I don't want to try to spend time editing all that and going through all that. I'd rather just start a separate business page and make sure that stays strictly professional.
And that's fine. Yep. You can definitely do that. You'll just need to use a different email address than you used for the first one.
Well, that's good because that's on my old email address already.
Perfect. So yes, you can have two separate pages if it makes sense for you. All right. And so now that you guys see about that you have boards and how to create a board, let's also look at pins. Now remember, these are things that are pinned to your board. So if I go to pins on my page, it's showing me the pins on my boards, right? All of these are on boards that I have. And so other people might just want to see a combination of my pins rather than going board by board, right? So if you could look at somebody's boards or you could look at their pins. You could look at both if you want, one at a time. And so you could also see, let's see, yeah, this is my, oh yeah, so look, my boards, here's all my public boards. Down here, I have, these are my private boards. See, it says secret boards. So my roadmap is private because I'm working on something really big there and it doesn't launch until probably this fall. What other stuff? The do-it-yourself stuff. I don't know why I made that private. Maybe just because I don't know. I don't know why any of these are private. I'm such an open book. I don't really know why any of them are private. But so you can see your private boards. Nobody else can. I can only see those because I'm logged in. Okay, so then if I go back here to my profile, come down a bit more. If I click on community, it's going to show me people who I might want to follow, just like what you guys have seen on other things. Again, based on other networks I'm on, people I'm connected to on other social medias, things I'm doing on other parts of the internet. And so it will show me some people who, well, the first ones are my followers. The second ones are people that I'm following. And for some reason, it won't let me scroll down there, but okay. All right, so when you go through here, that is how you, let me show you how to make a pin. You guys need to know how to make a pin, don't you? All right, so if up here in the top right, if you click on the little plus, if you're on a mobile device, it's usually on the bottom of your screen. So you click on the plus there, and then you choose create pin or product pin. Now, if you ever want to create an ad, you can do that here. I've never actually created an ad on Pinterest, so I can't really give you much information on that. But for right now, we're going to create a pin. When I click on that, and you guys could do this on your mobile phone or your computer. So it's just going to kind of walk me through some stuff. I'm just going to kind of go through this and click next. If you're interested in reading that stuff, you could read it as you, when you sign up. Same thing with this. I'm going to X out of that. I don't need to know. I don't need them to walk me through it. All right. So what I can do now is right here where it says drag and drop or click. I'm going to click here because I'll upload an image. So it's going to access my computer. I'm going to choose on the 30 virtual marketing ideas here. This is all the stuff that's related to this. And I'm going to choose the one that is free marketing tips, because that's the one I use to be able to promote this particular group. And what I can do is I can choose, okay, so again, I want to try to use words here that people might search when they come on Pinterest or when they're on Google. So I might say, free marketing tips during COVID-19. All right, marketing, free, and COVID-19. Oh, and actually tips. I have, out of my 5 words, 4 of those are highly searched words, right? They're things that people use when they search. And then down here where it says, tell everyone what your pin is about. Let's see, I was gonna just copy and paste something real fast to make it easier. All right. So if I go into my group and I go to the About page, I'm thinking that there's text there that I could use. Right here. Let's see. All right, let's just, all right, I'm going to type my own because I thought it was going to be nice, easy text for me, but there's too much. All right, let's see. Right now, because remember, people might find this after COVID-19 is over too. So during times of uncertainty, you should not stop marketing your business. These tips will give you easy, free ideas. Let's do easy and free. To stay visible even when the economy is scary. I don't know. Those are just words I came up off the top of my head. All right, add a destination link. If I come over here to the group, I want to invite them to the group. So I chose my facebook.com group link. Oh, hold on a second. I've got my tab. Remember, it's so hard for me to get to. I've got to be very certain. There we go. All right, so then I'm going to paste that in here. And then I could publish it immediately, or I could publish at a different date. Let me show you a few other things before I click publish. Right below it, right below the picture, there's a button that says create carousel. That is if I wanted to put more than one picture on here. Okay, that's not used very often, but that probably just because people don't really know how to use it yet. But if I wanted to have more than one picture, I could. And in fact, I'm trying to think of if I've taken a screenshot of us. Actually, let me, here, hold on, let me stop sharing for just a moment. All right, I'm going to do a screenshot. Jeez. All right, and then let's see if that works. Let me share my screen again. And then, let's see. Just gonna put that screenshot in here real fast so that I could save it as a picture. This is of course going to run slow when I want to show you guys how to do something. Okay, that's okay. We're not going to do that because I don't want it to run too slow. But if you wanted to add another picture here, you could. I'm not going to for this post. Of course, now that comes up. And then over here on the right top of, right above the title, it is asking me which board I want to put this on. So for this, let's see if I have a marketing board. I do. Look at that. Wouldn't it make sense to put free marketing tips on the marketing board? Because the more times that you're using these keywords, the more likely that you will be found. So I'll publish it to that board. And I've created my pin. So it will show me a little bit and it will ask you if you want to promote it or not. Again, I've never promoted any pins, but I'm going to click see your pin so that you can see what other people will see when they come to your pin. And then I'm going to click on the pin to make sure it takes them where I want them to go. Now, I want to draw your attention to something else. It did bring me to the group, but actually, if you notice on here, the YouTube Fuse Your Biz, like it shows the YouTube link. So when I created this image, I wanted to take everybody to YouTube in case they find this when when this 30 days is over, right? I want them to go to the YouTube. So what if I want to edit and change Facebook to YouTube? This little pencil right here, I will click on it, and I can scroll right down to the website area. And you guys, just a heads up that today's video will not be posted on YouTube until tomorrow, because tomorrow is YouTube day. And I'm going to show you guys how to use YouTube by posting today's video tomorrow in our live video. So you guys won't be able to watch the replay of this one until tomorrow, unfortunately. All right, so the link, I'm going to go to my Fuse, go to your channel, grab my link here, and then bring it over here and then paste it in here. So now that I've saved that, it will refresh, and as you can see, it shows YouTube and shows YouTube right here. If I click on it, now it brings them to YouTube. See? Simple enough, right? Does anyone have questions right now? I'm trying to look at everybody real fast. I've got you guys on my screen. Okay, good, good. All right, so let me show you guys something else too. Now, all of the things I'm seeing here are not things that I am currently following or have on any of my boards. So I'm going to find another one. Look, this one looks fun. How to use essential oils topically. And it's recommending I put it on my health board. You guys may have noticed there was only one pin on my health board already. I don't even know what the pin is. Health is not something that I'm like really good at or really very interested in. I know I should be. I know my health is important, you guys. I know logically. It's just like, it's hard sometimes. And I'm better at business stuff and computer stuff, and I try to stay in my lane as much as I can. And I look to friends that are good at health to help me with my health. We have some of them on this call today, so that's really awesome. But so if I come here and I want to share this, so this little button here will allow me to share this if I want to put it on Facebook or on Twitter. So even if you guys don't want to pin necessarily to Pinterest, you could put these things elsewhere. You could even, if you copy the link, you could even put this on LinkedIn if it made sense, right? Or you could email it to someone. You could send it to someone directly, right? So down here are people's names. I could click, these are people I'm connected with. I could click send. Right? So that is one option. I could always change the board, even though it suggests that I should put it on health. I don't have to put it on my health board. I could go find another board, although health is the one that makes sense on this one, right? And I'm not going to put that on there right now because I don't know if I want that one yet. And I'm very picky about the things I put on my board. You guys do not have to be that picky. In fact, the more that you share, the more likely that you will be found. Let's see, do we have something in the chat? Frankincense, David said. You can change the name. Rick, which part were you talking about? Oh, for probably Dwight's business thing. I'm guessing that's what you were talking about, but he decided he
you want to change his name.
All right.
You can actually put your name and your business name in the same, just make it longer, that's all.
Right. Yeah, but I think he determined that he wants to have two separate ones because he does not want them combined, which I personally wouldn't do, but it is okay to do if you guys, if that's what you think makes sense.
A lot of work.
Yes, thank you. All right. Any questions right now on what we've shared so far? Okay, let's go into up here on the top right. You guys will notice that these look similar to some of the stuff you have on Facebook and stuff, right? You have your messages and your notifications. So if you click on messages, guess what, guys? You get messages. So here's this Monica who invited me to this We're Hiring. I could click and see what she said about it, which she didn't say anything. She just sent me the board, it looks like. I don't actually remember who Monica is. So if Monica's watching this, I'm very sorry, but I don't remember who she is. And I don't think I want something like that on my page right now. So I'm going to click decline. And this is where you also could write a message as well. So you could come here and mark all as read. You could come here and write a new message to somebody that you'd like to write one to. Up here where the bell is, that's your notifications. This is where it's telling you things you might be interested in, right? So topics that you might be interested in, some boards that you might be interested in, or pins, or if one of your friends followed someone or posted something or liked something. And that's why a lot of, like, I personally don't look through my updates on here because it's mostly just suggestions. It's not really somebody like reaching out to me. So I don't look through notifications on Pinterest as much as I do on my other platforms. In fact, I might check this like twice a year on Pinterest. But again, it's going to matter how much you're using it. If Pinterest is your number one thing that you use, then you probably want to check it more often just in case. All righty, so I think that we covered pretty much everything we can cover on a basic level here. Does anyone have anything, burning questions that they want to ask?
Not just yet, but my thing was that I have a Pinterest and I kept getting notifications that everybody was following me, and I'm thinking, following me where? I'm not going anywhere, but I also am working on with the e-design, being able to post things and link them to the website, and I'm not quite there yet, but I might have questions in a couple of days.
Okay, well,
because I thought if all these people are following me, I may as well capture some of them.
yeah, you definitely should. And you guys saw how easy it was to put a post out there. Even if you just put one post out there today, just to kind of put something out there again, that would be pretty awesome for you. You don't have to do it every day. You don't have to be on there every week. You really don't even have to be on there every month. You just put stuff up there every once in a while. While you're on there today, put up 5 posts.
Got a question.
Yeah.
If I create a board called interior design, and I put just my cool T-square logo and my website, will they consider that advertising or something that should be a paid ad?
No, so Pinterest is not like how Facebook is, where they like try to punish you for not doing advertisements. So you could do that. People may not click on it because they click on things, as you can see, based on the visuals here, right?
Yeah.
So if you're seeing a logo that they don't know what the logo is, they probably won't click on it. So you've got to make it appealing for them to click on it and then bring them to your site.
Okay. So like a rendering or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Ask, does anyone get any business off of Pinterest? Well, Rick, let me tell you, yes, because most of us women who view it a lot, we actually shop a lot off of Pinterest. I cannot tell you how many pairs of shoes I have bought off of Pinterest.
Seriously?
Yes. So
I thought it was my online cookbook.
Nope.
I get recipes.
Yeah, and I've also bought books off of here. I've even bought event tickets. In fact, when I went to Tony Robbins and Gary Vee, I found that on Pinterest.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So yes, there are people out there getting business. I don't know how many people. I don't know. It's probably a matter of if you're doing it right. Pinterest is not one of the ones that we use as one of our top platforms. It's kind of a platform that we use because we teach on it, so we have to have a presence there, but it's not really where we market very much. Let's see, it looks like I have another question in the chat. Not shopping, Barbara. Does anyone on this call get any business? Well, I don't think very many people on this call use it for business yet. But Rick is asking, does anybody on this call get business off of Pinterest? Or I think if you've shopped on Pinterest too, that really does qualify, Rick.
I think that if I save something besides recipes, I will. So ask me that question in about a week.
All right, sounds good. And so if you guys have questions later, you know where to find me. Best place to ask questions would be inside of the Facebook group. That way other people can see the answer as well. Your homework assignment for today, I think it posted already. Let me go find it. So you first need to determine if Facebook is right for you, right? If, sorry, let me close some of these out. First determine if Facebook is right, or not Facebook, if Pinterest is right for you. Not everybody needs to be on Pinterest, but determine, hey, is Pinterest something that I want to be on? And if it is, then you need to make sure that you have a Pinterest account. And if you do, maybe enhance your Pinterest account. And then you need to invite people to connect with you. So start here with us. Ask us to connect with you, to follow you. Now, you're going to get followers by, easiest way to get followers is by putting good content out there, using strong keywords in your description and your title, and also using hashtags inside of your descriptions. Those are the 3 easiest ways to get followers that you are not already connected with. All right, and so before we go, I want to just check the Facebook feed. I think I was live on my personal page. Let me just check real fast. Did anybody notice where I was live at on Facebook? Did it pop up to anybody?
Mm-mm.
I think you were live in the group, because when I looked, it was in the group that we're on, is where I saw it.
Okay. All right, what's this one? Oh, I see. I forgot to change I put out a video earlier today. I was testing it with the what gets measured grows. And so it gave it the same name. That's all right. Let's see if there's any comments on here. So recognition is different depending on platform. Jeremy, I'm not sure what you mean by recognition, but yes, most things are different depending on the platform that you're on. So I just wanted to check to see if there was something on here. Any questions on the Facebook thing? All right, perfect. So we are almost at 3 o'clock and we are ready to wrap up unless anyone has final questions, comments, or concerns. I'm going to stop my share.
Just want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
It was very interesting.
Good, good. Do you feel like you're going to use Pinterest for your business now, Janice?
Yeah, kind of funny. You said pick the certain things you want to be on. I'm sitting here thinking Monday's this, Tuesday's that, Wednesday's this, Thursday's that, because I want to see what works for me. So even if I were to, because I have a couple of different sites for different things, if I add something and I'm posting to things regularly or whatever, my hope is that I can figure out what works best for me, what people I connect with most on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That sounds great, Janice. And feel free to share with other people then what you find works for you. But even though what works for one person may not work for another, right? Because you're in different businesses, but that is a nice way to test. Just be careful with getting overwhelmed with them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
that would be my first concern is if you say yes to too many things at once, you may get overwhelmed and then you may do none of them. So just be very careful with that.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys. I'm going to head off.
You're welcome. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we are learning YouTube.
Okay,
Excellent. Bye-bye.
thanks.